Hi guys, this is Anthony with Above Average TV. The TV stands for Tech Videos, and today I just wanted to do a quick comparison between the iPhone 5C and the iPhone XR. So I first wanted to start off by talking about the design. As you can tell, they both only have one single lens, with the iPhone XR's flash being bottom facing just because it does have the Face ID sensors running along the top. On the iPhone 5C, it's just a regular facing flash. So we do have a plastic build versus an aluminum build on the XR, which is a little more premium, feels better in the hands. And then another one of the differences, well, I guess you could say similarities that these have is the thickness, because the iPhone 5C is 8.9 millimeters thick, while the iPhone XR comes in at 8.3 millimeters thick. So they're really close in thickness, but the iPhone XR is not quite where the 5C is yet. So if we take a look at the front, we have LCD panels on both of these. On the XR, we have a 6.1-inch display versus a 4-inch display on the iPhone 5C. So the other difference just with the body of the phones is that the iPhone 5C does have the headphone jack just right there. The iPhone XR, you do have to use the Apple adapter that used to come with the phones. And so if we look at the internals of these phones, the differences are big when it comes to the XR and the 5C. So with the XR, Apple released it with the flagship internals, so it comes with the Apple A12 Bionic chip, Face ID, comes with stereo recording as well, and it has the same primary camera that the iPhone XS and XS Max were released with. So in comparison, the 5C had previous generation hardware with the Apple A6 chip, no fingerprint scanner, which was available on the premium iPhone 5S, and it was made of the cheaper plastic material. Another big difference that the iPhone 5C has with the iPhone 5S is that this one is not upgradable to iOS 11. So it is stuck on iOS 10, as you can see. All right, let's take a closer look at the displays. So, as I mentioned before, the iPhone XR has a 6.1-inch display. We do get the edge-to-edge design with slightly thicker bezels than the XS and the XS Max, but you do get the rounded corners as well, which is, I think, in my opinion, a little more modern. On this one, you do have just the standard, corner-to-corner display. So, another big difference in the display technology is that this one is way more color accurate, especially if you open up like a black app. So let's go ahead and open Spotify. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but the blacks are a little better on this one, especially if you look at the notification bar right here. So it's a little more washed out on this one. All right, one of the other differences on the display technologies is that the iPhone XR comes with True Tone and the iPhone 5C did not. So let's go ahead and talk about the cameras real quick. They're both single lenses, as I mentioned before, but the iPhone XR does come with a True Tone flash. It does come with 4K video recording and portrait mode on the back. In comparison, the 5C can only do 1080p video, and on the front-facing camera does not have portrait mode. It's a 1.2 megapixel camera versus 7 megapixel camera on the iPhone XR, and the front-facing camera on this one does do the portrait mode. So that's a win for this one. Another difference in the camera technology is that while they both can record with the front-facing cameras, the iPhone 5C can only record 720p video, and the iPhone XR can record 1080p video. So yeah, that's the short comparison between the iPhone 5C and the iPhone XR. So there are quite a few differences, obviously, and the iPhone XR is the better option because, it is a 2018 phone. But if you were to compare these, with the models that had just come out at the time, the iPhone XR does give you more value for your money than I think the iPhone 5C did. This one has, the iPhone XR, has more features in common with the iPhone XS and XS Max than the iPhone 5C had with the 5S. So, I never personally used the 5C, but it does have the inferior materials and the inferior hardware as well. And like I said, the iPhone XR shares more similarities than the iPhone 5C did with its more premium flagship models. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like this. Catch you in the next one.